Thank you. As Eric indicated, I'm Robert Carrington, President and CEO of Newrange Gold Corporation. Our forward-looking statement, a little bit of very brief history about Newrange. We started life as Columbia Mines Corporation in 2006 and IPO'd in 2008, explored a large portfolio of projects in Colombia during those years. And today we still maintain two of them, the Ramalito Gold Porphyry and El Dobio, a gold-rich polymetallic system. We acquired the PAMLICO district in west central Nevada in July of 2016, and it very rapidly became the company's flagship property. PAMLICO is situated in the Walker Lane along the intersecting Pancake Range Lineament. Pancake Range Lineament's a much lesser known structural lineament, but it's a very important structural control in Round Mountain, Aurora Borealis, and several other major mining districts there. These two structural zones contain many world-class deposits, including the Comstock Lode, Tonopah Goldfield, and the Round Mountain mine. Round Mountain is currently in operation with 30 million ounces of past production plus current reserves. The PAMLICO district is a very high-grade district. The work Newrange has done has discovered multiple new high-grade zones that were previously unknown on the property. We term the J, K, L, M, and N zones. Very importantly, these high-grade structurally controlled zones have no silica in them. They're iron oxide choked structural zones, and they are surrounded by a large stockwork of disseminated style mineralization with lower grades. We have drill intercepts there up to 70 meters of 3.5 grams, surrounding drill intercepts that range anywhere from 60 to 340 grams a ton. Very, very substantial grades. And all of this mineralization is oxide in nature. PAMLICO enjoys an extremely deep zone of oxidation. Minimum oxidation level goes down to 200 meters and in some places deeper. We completed two very deep stratigraphic test holes in late 2017 and identified additional favorable host rocks at depth. This is a stratigraphic column based on those two holes. The central light green unit there is a fragmental latite tuff, which is very similar to what hosts the Round Mountain system. Overlying that is the Looning Formation, shown in red and blue. That is a known host for sediment-hosted mineralization in the western part of Nevada. And in fact, we just started drilling last week on a zone within the Looning Formation where we see up to 130-gram gold in outcrop. The lower part of the stratigraphic column consists of interbedded bimodal volcanics going back and forth between rhyolite and latite tuff, very similar to the main latite unit. And we'll be exploring that later. The two stratigraphic test holes both hit anomalous but subeconomic mineralization in those deeper units. This is a cartoon version of the drill area we've been focused on. We term the MERRITT area. The high-grade zones that we're drilling are signified in the darker shades of red there, and they are oriented northwest, parallel to and related to the Walker Lane zone. The stockwork mineralization envelops those. You can see the MERRITT decline coming in from the upper left corner, and when we first acquired the property, we saw-cut channel sampled both ribs of the MERRITT decline, wound up with 75 meters of 3.2 grams in the end of the MERRITT decline that had never been sampled before. During our first phase of drilling, we put a angle hole across the end of the MERRITT decline and got 70 meters of 3.5 gram, almost 3.6 gram gold. So it's obviously a fairly substantial zone of stockwork mineralization that envelops all of these high-grade zones. This is a property-wide view of the major target zones. You can see the PAMLICO Ridge Zone is there on the lower left. To the north of that is the yellow area we term the Pediment Zone. That's a very exciting area where we see intense alteration surrounding an elevated area of pediment development. And one lone outcrop out in the middle of that runs 4.7 grams over a 1.5 meter channel sample length. Intersecting south of the MERRITT zone is an east-west trending zone of structures we term the east-west zone. And recently we've received channel samples in that from the laboratory running up to 68 grams in outcrop and shallow underground mine workings. As I indicated earlier, we recently started drilling in the carbonate sequence up in the east-north or the northeast zone there. That drilling is in a marbleized limestone where we see up to 130 grams outcropping, and underground channel samples there running as high as 68 grams also. All of this mineralization is oxidized. All of it is typified by very fine-grained gold. In our drilling so far, we have not been able to find a single grain of visible gold, even in individual drill intercepts that run over 340 grams. I believe we'll see very simple and straightforward metallurgy. This is a table of some of the high-grade intercepts on the property. Again, you can see these are very shallow intercepts. That 70-meter interval of 3.5 gram gold started at 1.5 meters. We have drill intercepts that collar in 16 gram. All of this is oxidized. None of these intercepts are more than 100 meters below surface, and they all are forming a very cohesive, simple mineralized body that should be very amenable to open pit mining, and I believe, based on what we're seeing visually, should be heap leachable. And we are just now initiating a metallurgical process to evaluate that. We've also completed property-wide airborne magnetics and radiometric surveys. This is actually the airborne magnetometry, and in a nutshell, this indicates that the PAMLICO ridge zone may actually be much longer than indicated by surface workings. We see a geophysical signature that indicates the PAMLICO ridge zone extends for approximately 7 kilometers to the southwest of where we're currently drilling. Going forward as Catalyst, we're currently drilling phase 3. We've started off in the sediment-hosted mineralization. As we finish the initial drilling there, we'll migrate to extensions of the MERRITT zone where we've been drilling last year, and we expect more intercepts similar to those that we've already reported. We're also going to be starting a metallurgical program. We're also involved in expanding our underground and surface mapping, where we have crews mapping these old underground mine workings. As we've gotten into it, we've found that there's probably somewhere in excess of 5 miles of accessible underground mine workings that we'll be able to map and sample here. And the goal is to have a sufficient drilling in the MERRITT and PAMLICO ridge zones to initiate a 43-101 resource by the end of this year. We have a very tight share structure. We've never consolidated our shares, and today we have 74.9 million shares issued and out, 90.9 million shares fully diluted. We have a very experienced management team. Robert Archer from Great Panther Silver just joined our board this week. And our 17 largest shareholders control over 80% of the issued and outstanding stock. The assets the company has are all in very mining-friendly jurisdictions. Nevada is particularly friendly, and PAMLICO is particularly well suited. It's 2.5 hours from my front door, 15 minutes from the town of Hawthorne. There's a 234 kVA power line that crosses the property, and the county-maintained gravel roads go to within 1,000 feet of the portal of the MERRITT decline. So it's about as good an infrastructure as you can possibly get. And that is the short story of PAMLICO.